Welcome, everybody. I'm not too sure where you're tuning in from worldwide, but I'm from Shoal Lake, Manitoba, and it's snowing here today. It's kind of miserable. So I know Don Carson, a good friend of mine from Winnipeg, always gets the blood flowing and the juices going. So I can't wait for him to share with everybody here tonight. So take it away, Don.
Great, thanks, Brett. Yeah, I'm in Winnipeg, Manitoba, right in the center of Canada. For those who aren't familiar, our corporate office is in Sioux Falls, South Dakota, which is about a 7-hour south drive from here. And the CEO of the company, Dave Jordan, lives in Grand Forks, North Dakota, which is about a 2-hour drive from here. So you just get your bearings. So dead center of North America is really where I'm located. I wanted to touch on a couple of things tonight for about 30 minutes and share with you my philosophy on business today. I'm a traditional businessman. I've been in business really for, most of my adult life now, from graduating out of high school, going into university, taking on a teaching career for 10 years. While I was teaching, I was building a part-time business out of the trunk of my car. Always thought tax deductions were the thing I wanted, so I kind of created what I thought at the time was a home-based business, really. In fact, thinking back, I remember going to buy secondhand or seconds of sweats and sweatsuits and going into the banks and selling sweatsuits to the bank tellers. It was just one of those things. I was always this person that got in front of what I thought was an opportunity. And it was funny, as I got into my business career while I was teaching, I had to leave teaching because like many people that take on a part-time adventure, at some point you have to make a decision. So I recall, teaching for 10 years, going to my school board and asking for a leave of absence so I could spend more time on my business to see if I could make it, and that was really what it was all about at the time. And, never went back to teaching, just continued on my journey. But, I wanted to share that with you because each and every one of you will look at this opportunity tonight and wonder, is this a cash flow vehicle for me to be able to add some extra money for my current career, for my current family, for the opportunity to maybe plan for a vacation, for me to have an opportunity maybe to put away some money for our parents, maybe for that school education for your kids. It doesn't necessarily mean that what you're going to see tonight could turn into a home run income for you, or that you would consider leaving your job and going full time at it, like Brett did. Brett on screen here is a good friend of mine, and you know what? I mean, here's a man that had his financial challenges earlier on in his life and made a decision to go to work here, and before long he quit a job and he's been full-time here ever since. That's not the norm. I didn't want to paint a picture for you all to think that this is something for you to be able to think is going to be easy. Okay, so that's just a little summary of where I came from. And then when I look at today and the economy today, and where my career was 15 years ago, where it's going to be 15 years from now, it's totally changing before our eyes. And with that, our children are challenged. They're challenged because there's no guarantee they're going to have the career that they think they're going to university for, because that could change. And then on the other hand, look at the example that we're seeing right now. The amount of rain that's falling in our market is going to cause some stress on the economy through the winter, because farmers aren't going to be able to get the crops off, which is going to mean they're not going to have as much money to be able to buy the farm implement equipment and so on, which is going to spill off into the smaller communities, and nobody's going to be buying cars and trucks and quads and snowmobiles, and it's a spin-off once again. So, the reason why I paint that picture for you is that, we have very little control of most of the careers that we enter into. The only thing I've discovered recently that I have control over is myself and my own efforts and my own ability to dream again, and to find the people like me that want to dream with me. And this industry, the home-based business industry, is that vehicle. So I wanted to share with you, if I could, a couple of slides that kind of paint a picture for you. Okay, so as I go into this presentation tonight, what I want you to also imagine is, where will you be at 9 o'clock Central Time? Because at 9 o'clock Central Time, we're going to take just a little bit of time and show you 10 things that Brett and I came up with that we believe were asked regularly. And those 10 things are going to be in a form of we've got some questions, so here are the answers. And we'll record it for you, and hopefully those answers will help you as you go forward. So as I flip through these PowerPoint presentations, some of this PowerPoint is just a generic flip chart that the company has created, and here it is, okay? So you can, for some people, get access to this flip chart and just sit in front of somebody and turn the pages, okay? So it's as simple as learning where to find the tools, and the people that will invite you to these calls and get you started can help you go in the right direction when you're looking for some direction. You know, my wife and I really got started in this industry, and you know, when we got started, it was really as an opportunity to create weight loss for ourselves, because we'd gained a bunch of weight during a year off, basically of being active, where we weren't able to be sort of in the gym or doing the things that we like to do, because the boating accident that almost killed us, you know, created an environment that we couldn't really do what we like to do. So what we did is we found the product first. So when I look at our successes in the past, and I look at the history of my business career, I look at this little chart that I've created here, where it's an up and down sort of a world. And that's the same world that each and every one of the people that you know are living through today. Their job may not be there a year from now. The weather could change the outcome of their year from a financial standpoint. Business-wise, I mean, I have a pool, spa, patio, barbecue company. I had 6 stores, closed 5 of the stores. Now I have 1, but the challenge is still the weather. You know, we had a very, very bad September, so we couldn't get much of the construction done. And now we're challenged where people owe us money, and it's just, you can't control Mother Nature. And it's the same thing with the economy. As I look at the ups and downs of the challenges that each and every one of you are going through, this industry can change your financial well-being for the future in a blink of an eye. And for my wife and I, we make more money here per month on our Valentis business than we do in 2 companies and a third that we just sold combined per month. And we have over $15 million invested into those 3 companies. Why do I share that with you? I share that with you because this is a risk-free opportunity to create cash flow in any level that you really choose. And it all comes down to the mentality that you bring to the table. What I love about what we have here as an example is that most people think of a millionaire as somebody that has $1 million or more. And the unfortunate thing is, as you earn or make more money, you'll spend it. And as you spend it, that creates a cash flow strain on you, because it takes money to pay for the insurance, the maintenance. It takes money to pay for, you know, larger houses and taxes and insurance, and all of the things that you think are luxuries actually take more cash flow away from people. So I look at this example and I think, you know, $20,000 worth of income off of 2% interest on $1 million on deposit is really only $1,650 a month of interest earned. And so we could call that $400 a week. Now, it doesn't sound like a lot of money, but in terms of cash flow, if you look at that $400 per week, that's like having $1 million in the bank. You have to think about it opposite. So the way I like to teach what we're going to share with you this evening is you've got to have the millionaire's mindset. If you come to this business with the idea that if you're making an extra $500-600 a month, it's kind of like you have $500,000 on deposit in the bank, because you've got the cash flow that money would generate, assuming you didn't spend it all, right? And so having cash flow coming to you every Friday is the vehicle that we share with people. And what we do is we touch on a couple of buttons. We say, look, there's people that have a desire for more money. There's people that have a desire for freedom and time. And for me, freedom, as I understand it more and more, is really your health. You know, there's so much to be said about this slide here, that good health costs money and bad health costs more. But the sad thing is people are liable to spend money on a new hat or a purse or a shoe or a new pair of jeans or a handbag, as opposed to buying our Imulin product, which you're going to learn a little bit about tonight. And Imulin could have been the difference between them going out and being active again. You know, so it's an understanding that, you know, most of us are starting to become pretty aware that we're going to outlive our money. And when we start thinking about outliving our money, that's when I start getting scared. And I start thinking about all the friends that I know that have never even considered the home-based business industry. And I need to hit them on the head. I need to get in front of them and I need to say to them, listen, you need to understand that this opportunity is huge, bigger than any of us even know. and that there's 79 million people around the world right now looking for a home-based business opportunity. And you just got to open up the door to them. And ultimately, grandmothers that are running marathons at the age of 97 are inspiring because they know one thing: they have 100% of their life left. They understand this better than any of us. I mean, it could be a year, it could be 10 years, whatever it is, it's still 100%. And so when you get that mentality and you understand that mentality, then you understand the millionaire mindset mentality, that's the home-based business. It allows us to help people dream again. It allows us to get people in control of their health and their wealth. And it takes away some of the worry because it's not going away. This industry, as an entrepreneur that's been in business, made millions of dollars, sold one of my companies to a New York Stock Exchange company, is not going away. I get this industry now more than I did, say, 4.5 years ago. I'm not a full-time networker from the old days. I'm a professional networker today because I believe this industry is going to create more millionaires in the next 10 years than any industry on the planet Earth today. And the reason why is that we don't have to pay a celebrity to tell a story. Our stories are us, real people sharing real results. And in the old way of doing business, you couldn't go on social media and just say, man, I'm so excited. I lost 10 pounds this week and I got paid $5 to do it. And somebody will ask you a question. What do you mean you got paid $5 to lose 10 pounds or $100 to lose 10 pounds? And you didn't say it was by drinking coffee. You didn't say it was by joining Valentis. You just kept it as simple and as generic as possible to create curiosity, and friends and associates that respect you are going to want to know. So they're going to ask you. That's the power of what we have today. An opportunity to share a company that has all the elements brought together under one roof, debt-free, 5 years old, not a startup, but it has a startup opportunity. Why do I say that? Because most people look at a startup opportunity and they think they need to be in front of the trend. They need to be ahead of everybody else. And yet I started here 4 years ago, and there are people that started here in Valentis that are making more money than I am, and they only started a year and a little bit ago. It's because their approach is totally different than my approach. I have other businesses. I have some other things I've done, but even still, it's one person that can take you. I don't want to say the promised land in a sense that I believe that Valentis is the promised land. I want you to understand that it's not about thousands and thousands of people in this network of business that you're going to develop. It's about that one person or two or three or possibly four that can introduce you to a circle of influence that you could never, ever realize. And so understanding that term prevail being the Latin term for Valentis, that's our brand. We're a Prevail line of products that was created by this gentleman, Dave Jordan, out of Sioux Falls, South Dakota, living in Grand Forks. And Dave is a dreamer. He's a visionary, but he's also a professional network marketer. He left this industry because he hated it. He left this industry because owners were stealing from him in his mind. He had his check taken away from him. He had his best friend on his wedding day get terminated. There was things that happened that he just could never, ever keep his attention around, so he quit this industry a number of times. And eventually he said, if I was going to do this, I was going to do it right, and I'm going to create an environment for the distributor. One that the distributor could say is a home, safe environment and has an owner that has a distributor's mindset and mentality. That's Dave Jordan. And as I understand our different divisions, the way I like to share what we do here is I say, listen, I'm involved with a globally expanding company that works off of 4 wellness principles: good digestion, brain and mental clarity and focus, pain relief, and blood flow. And the byproduct of that is to help people get control of their lifestyle and they can manage their weight way better. And then I open that door up for people to ask me something. So if I want to talk about weight management, well, let me just touch on that. We've got incredible products, and one of them in particular is coffee. And I got to tell you, coffee with an ingredient with Vaso6 and now our Dynamite product is designed to turn fat into muscle. It's designed to crush your cravings and take away your desire for the sugars. It's designed to give you the control. And ultimately, there's no diet in the world that will work, because at some point you will lose the battle with your cravings. And what Valentis has created is a product that crushes your cravings. It gives you the willpower to have control. And we also know that billions of cups of coffees are consumed daily. It's the second most consumed beverage in the world. And this area of coffee is growing every year as CEOs recognize the power of it, and they change the names of their companies. I mean, McDonald's is now McCafe. I don't care where you go, you see McDonald's logo now with a McCafe. Their coffee business in McDonald's is huge, as is in the Dunkin' Donuts business. mean, go into some of your local grocery stores in the United States, you'll see Dunkin' Donuts coffee sold in bags in those supermarkets. It's a big business. You know, Subway, not just a sandwich, a coffee plus a coffee. Starbucks, Tim Hortons, all of these brands that are just huge are not going away. They're only growing. And what I understand better than ever now is that most people will drink coffee till the day they die. And most people drink a coffee in their mind before they're even getting out of bed. They're touching feet to the ground and they're already planning that cup of coffee. It's an industry that is captivating. It's an industry that when you understand that you can connect weight management to it, it's just mind-boggling. I had a call today with somebody who might even be on this Zoom, and they just outright said to me, said, listen, I was in something else, tried it. You know what? It was hard to convince people. I felt I was a science teacher. And now all I got to do is say, man, do you know anybody that drinks coffee that wants to lose weight? And it's like the floodgates are opening. My wife and I found that. People chased this down. And as we lost weight, people started recognizing that, and they asked us. We didn't have to ask them. That's what you'll discover. Don't go out there and become a salesman. Become a shareologist. That's what we do in Valentis. And if you look at this example here, losing 16 pounds for me meant, you know, it was about a $7.50 a pound cost to me because, you know, 2 tubs of coffee cost me about $130, and I divided that by the 16 pounds. That's how I came up with that weight. But if I give you other companies, diets, fake food companies, you know, $300, $400, $500 a month of fake boxed up dried food, I'm sorry, you're not going to do that the rest of your life. You're not going to have a dried up pizza on the day you're going to die. It's just not going to happen. I mean, it's going to be a short, and that's not maybe a good thing that I just said there. I apologize, but I want you to understand that these brands are big, huge brands, but it costs you a lot and nobody sticks with it. They always gain all their weight back, but I'll tell you, why not just redirect your spending to your coffee? People say, well, do I have to drink coffee all along? And I'll say, are you going to drink coffee till the day you die? Yes. Well, then why wouldn't you drink your own coffee? It's as simple as that. Then we add our other categories of products that are in the weight management, like cocoa and our trim drink and our keto creamer that allows you to stay with a keto lifestyle, if that's the keto diet that you like. You know, and our 24/7 carb burner product that Dr. Joe Aarons, a 2-time nominated Nobel Prize scientist, invented and discovered and brought to our company exclusively. You've got a great variety of products to work with. But on the health side of things, I actually like to say things like, you know, your health, our way. Because if I could look at what we have as a portfolio, there's 3 products in particular that I believe is the Fountain of Youth combination. It's like the cocktail for the Fountain of Youth, right? The More Detox, which embeds the proper minerals throughout your system using alkaline water that's in that little tub, that little squirter there, and you put 2 little droplets, no taste and no smell, and it is now driving the minerals through your system. And I've seen my fingernails grow quicker. I'm seeing spots going away. I can tell you with my own words that I believe this product's the Fountain of Youth. If you add that product to either the immune and the energy, which will give me the energy and help me fight off some of the things that are bothering me, or add it to the Imulin, which is, I believe, the second product of 3 that is really of, like, I would call the Fountain of Youth for those of you that are going to promote the health side of wellness. Well, Imulin, guys, is a billion-dollar product all by itself, and we have the exclusive rights to this product. We have a product here that chaperones sugar through your body. And when you understand what that term means, you'll understand that we, as a human race, eat too much sugar. In fact, back in 1905, it was around 6 pounds per human in Canada and the United States and around the world per year. Today, it's over 200 pounds. They put it in everything. They hide it in names that don't even sound like sugar, but it's sugar. And what has that done to our bodies? It's caused inflammation. It's caused all kinds of problems like diabetes and Alzheimer's. And there's studies done on inflammation now that it is now recognized as one of the greatest concerns there is in our health, is we got to get control of inflammation. Well, Dr. Joe discovered this product, patented it, did studies on it, and it's proven to help you get control of your inflammation. I saw it firsthand. I can tell you with my words, Don Carson, on this date, that if I wasn't taking Imulin, I could not run, ride my bike, play volleyball. I'm telling you, it has brought my back injuries back from where they were, from our boating accident, to a point now where I absolutely am blown away. I have a good friend of mine that I was just at the lake with. We did a little bit of work. I watched him hobbling around at the end of it, and I wasn't. And just 6 months ago, I was him. It's a total different, but sometimes your friends won't try products that you believe in. It's just interesting. I said to him, I've got this product called Amy. I don't know. I don't believe that stuff. That stuff doesn't work. I'm telling you, good health costs money. Bad health costs more. Famulin is a godsend for my family. I love it. All our kids are taking it. It's good from womb to tomb, according to Dr. Joe. Do your own research on this. We have a diabetic version called the C, and that one actually has a formula in there that helps control your blood sugars. Fascinating, fascinating product. And our Max is the third product, and I believe the regimen for good health, because it's all about blood flow. And if you can separate your red blood cells, get them flowing, and get your body moving, and your lethargic nature is suddenly getting you active again, and you're embedding your body with minerals, and you're getting that sugar to go through your system, how could you not feel better about yourself and getting off the couch, okay? So if it's not about weight loss for you, we've got you covered. Trust me, we've got health products. Plus, we've got vanity products coming with our skincare, which I thought was going to be here right now. I'm sure it's going to happen anytime soon. We've got a line that's been sold in the past by a company called Skinny Body Care. It's called Instant Youth. And folks, it's Cinderella. It's pat, 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 and your wrinkles go beep, gone. And 6, 7, 8 hours, get up and quickly run and do something because the wrinkles might be back. That's why I call it Cinderella. It's a great going out on a date skincare. My wife calls it Cinderella. I think it's really kind of cool. It's a good name for it. It works right before your eyes. You can see your wrinkles disappear. And we have this product exclusively coming to us in our back office very shortly, and a number of other products. Now, as you look at our timing, with about 8 minutes left to go on our presentation, I want to touch on our comp plan, but I want you to understand that 13 million a month, we were just $1 million a month a year ago. That's 1,000% growth in 1 year. With that comes challenges. With that comes, inventory getting backed up. But folks, what's exciting about where you are today is the sweet spot, because we are working through every inventory issue and shipping products quicker and faster than we ever did, 10 times faster than we did a year ago, because we've got 10 times more business. What a great situation to be in. There are companies out there that have so much inventory, so much staff, and nobody's calling them and nobody's buying what they sell. We have the opposite situation going on here. As our company will grow from 13 to 25 million next year, something like that. That's the estimates we're saying. And 50 to 100 million over the next 2 years after that. A month. We're talking $1 billion company that you get to participate with. And how we make money is as simple as this. I'll just touch on 4 of them. One of the things I think is the most important thing, and I'm going to go into the comp plan a little bit more when we come back after our break in 8 minutes, and we do what we call a getting started overview. And we go into detail a little bit more on the comp plan, and Brett and I are going to go through some questions we know we get asked, and we're going to try to answer them on a recording so that you can play it back for your new people, so that you don't have to get asked those questions. That's what we're going to do at 9 o'clock or 8 o'clock in Mountain Time, or of course 7 time out West Coast, and 10 o'clock in the East. Okay, so coming back in a half an hour after I finish this presentation. But the most important thing about a comp plan is immediate income. Getting your new person earning some money. Magic, magic, magic. Our plan lets you do that. You don't have to jump through hoops. We have something called a 6-day experience, which you see this picture of right here. And you can package up 6 sticks of coffee in there and sell that for $20. I had one of my reps get on the phone with me, and they were talking to another one of their new prospects, and they're saying, you know what, so-and-so bought 350 sticks of their coffee. They made themselves $2,000 quickly, and then they get those, and they were just explaining so quickly what happened with this program we offer called the 6-day experience. But what's beautiful about the media income opportunity is that anybody can come on to our business and next week make $20 for somebody buying a tub off their website, 40 off of 3, 60 off of 6, 100 off of 16, and 200 off of a 30 6-pack success pack. Instantly. You don't have to jump through hoops. You can earn money right away. Or you can start thinking of a 1-hour, 80-hour day. Sounds kind of neat, right? What do I mean by that? In this example, a 1-hour, 40-hour day would be, if I could only put an hour, but I found 3 people that could put an hour, and they all found 3 people that could put an hour, and they all found 3 people that could put an hour. That's like a 40-hour, 1-hour day for me. And if I could get a little piece of commission off of their activities and the volume they generate, that's residual income. And we leverage that with something called the legacy code, because we pay you double the money on your 4th business builder and beyond. And I'll go into detail on that at 9 o'clock, okay? We also have an expression called residual income. And there's a term people have heard in the past called binary. Now, binary is buy for 2, and you need 2 legs. The challenge with the typical binary is, what leg do I put my people on? And number one, am I going to make money even if I put them on the wrong leg? And in our business, it has no bearing whatsoever on 5 level parts of our compensation plan where you put your people, because we have a matching check. And it doesn't matter if they're left or right. If you bring in somebody in your team who goes off and starts building a nice business, you're going to get a matching check on their earnings, regardless of where they are. We're also going to pay you up to 7 levels deep on their people's people. So again, our dual team is a structure for us to build teams. And I love that about our plan. I'll teach you a little bit about that at 9 o'clock. But again, we let you build teams. And the way our system works is as simple as this. You read that, it says 20% on your pay leg. Well, the way I like to say it is 20% on the team that's smaller. So if you have a left team that's doing 100,000 and a right team that's doing 20,000, you're going to make 20% on the 20,000 because it's the smaller team. Okay? So that's the way I describe it, 20% on your smaller team. And it can flip-flop back and forth between your left and your right. It's just 2 teams. You only have to build 2 teams, not 10 like some companies. We give you car allowances. But as I was saying to you early, this is what the world is looking like today. Brands that we grew up with, many of us, are all gone. And the companies like Amazon and the internet companies out there are absolutely changing the way we do business. And here's the reason why I say to you, don't go out and sell anybody anything. People like to do their own research. People want to have the ability to select something. So what I like to say is, don't sell anybody. Let them buy from you. Show them what you're doing by just being a curiosity driver. And before I know it, they'll ask you the questions. And if you look at the careers that are changing, you understand social media the way I was describing to you tonight, when you can put $20 one time into a business and have all the benefits of a real traditional business, you have an opportunity to hit a massive home run. And we don't have to do the research. We have scientists that do that. We don't have to inventory anything, ship anything. We have companies that are hired by the manufacturer and the owner of our company to do that. We don't have to pay the heat, the electrical, the taxes, the building, the workers' compensation plan, the payroll taxes, all that stuff that is so frustrating to an entrepreneur who owns a company in our country, Canada, never mind the United States or around the world. This network marketing business, it's all handled for you. You don't write a check to people. They send the checks to you. In fact, every Friday your phone goes bing and you get a deposit. Okay, so get in where you fit in, pick a package. I recommend you don't miss this opportunity. Trust me when I say this, if it's not this company, Valentis, find something that hits your wheel. Because folks, the home-based business industry is exploding. It's growing with or without us. I just personally believe, as a guy that has made so much in the traditional spaces, this will be my biggest business venture I've ever done, and it only cost me $20 one time to start. And I bought that $575 package when I started because I wanted the best bang for my buck. Today, I would buy the $11.99 pack. Why? Because there's a difference between commission earned on the $11.99 pack and the builder pack of 58% versus 38%. I won't go into details on that now. I'll touch on that at the 9 o'clock training. But folks, you can maximize your time and return with that career success pack if you choose to go that route. But if you choose just a single box, you can upgrade at any time to the other ones as well. Okay? So here's our 6-day experience, just an example of it, so I can share this with you. Go buy a 350 stick package of our coffee, or buy our success pack, and one of the SKUs inside that pack can be the 350 sticks. And then you'll get 20 of all our other items as well, because all our products are the same price. But when it comes to the sticks, you now go make 58 6-day experiences, charge $20, and on the right, it shows you that would get you $11.60 back. So right away, you're in the money. But what is happening is that on day 2 or 3, the person that's had those 6-day experiences, chances are they're going to call you and say, how do I get more? Now you've got customers building. Eventually, somebody goes into work, they've lost 10 pounds. Somebody says, what are you doing? You look great. Well, I'm drinking this coffee that Sue gave me. Really? How do I get it? And then the person comes back to you and says, so-and-so wants some of this coffee. Are you making money off me? Yes. Well, how do I make money? They buy a business builder pack. Now you have a rep and the residual income begins. Okay? Look, the way we were brought up is not the way we want to end. We are not going to work for 40 years and retire on 40% of our income anymore. We need to understand, for us to change, things got to change. And that philosophy of working till you're like 67 and dying at 78 and having maybe 11 years of retirement, come on, that's silly. Why wouldn't you want to look at this and work, travel the world tax-free basically, because all your time of traveling to these countries where we're opening up and you're building your business, is going to be tax deductible legally. Talk to your accountant about that, of course, and get the advice in your country. But what I love about our business is it's letting so many people dream again. And as I understand this business better than I've ever understood it, I love the timing of the fact that I know what I have here. And I tell people with all my heart, they need to take a close look at Valentis and the global expansion we're going through, and then look close at your own city, your own province, your own state, your own area of the country you live in, and understand these words. Nobody knows who we are yet. That's exciting. I was in Vermont, I was in Boston, and we had groups of 10 and 15 people. I was in Milwaukee, 26 people. I'm going back to Milwaukee on the 24th to do a presentation, and then Minneapolis on the 26th, and then Toronto, Ontario on the 28th, after doing Winnipeg on the 23rd. Why do I share those dates with you? Because we have a group called Team Gets Results. It's a closed group. In there, we'll post our events. Brett's going to be at a number of these with me, and we want to come to your market. I want to go to Michigan. I want to open up that market. We've never done a presentation in Michigan. We've never done a presentation in the largest city, basically, in the Eastern Seaboard, or not quite the Eastern Seaboard, but the metropolis, New York City. Not been done yet. Opportunity is a huge part of what we look at. Toronto, Canada, largest city in Canada, largest one. No presentations are going on there. We're going to do one on Monday. Get excited about what you have here, folks. You have a greatest opportunity. When we come back after the quick break here, I'm going to show you a roadmap. Brett and I are going to go through a number of different things here. Let me just stop the share here for a second. Brett, I think it stopped, right?
Yep, you're good.
Yeah. We like to do a 30-minute presentation and open it up to a few questions from brand new people that might want to know a little bit more. And I promise you this, if you come back at 9 o'clock, we'll answer those questions. But Brett, if you want to give people a chance to ask a few questions right now, why don't we just see what kind of questions come up?
Yeah, I just made it an option where people can unmute themselves, and I'm just going to stop recording.